Happy Halloween. We are still playing with spooky season theme, and I have a little exercise for you to kick us off. So, we have all been in a haunted house at some point or another. So, I want you to, in your mind, go to the haunted house. Go there in your mind really fast, right? You know the feeling. You are creeping around, what's real, what's not, grab you or spook you, right? You know that feeling. Your heart is racing. Even me thinking about it, I'm getting a little flushed right now, right? Maybe your breath is a little shorter than normal, a little up here. That is fear, right? And we all know that this is not all that different from the fear that can come up in practicing your real estate business. So if you want to escape your own personal house of horror, then you want to stick around for this video. Hi, my name is Heather Patterson. If we've not met yet, I am a performance coach to real estate agents across the country. I also operate a team based out of Scottsdale, Arizona. And like I mentioned, we're going to talk about facing your fears in your real estate business. I'm so glad that you're here. There are all sorts of fears that can come up in real estate, but I want to talk with you about three really common ones that I see in working with agents. So the first one is the fear of failure, right? And this is really pretty broad, but I specifically mean this in the sense that maybe an agent is going to or considering being more active on social media, or perhaps hosting a social event for the sake of bringing people together and nurturing those relationships, doing something new in the business. So that fear of failure. What happens is the fear becomes so great that the agent is overthinking. They're wondering, oh gosh, like, is this even going to work? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not a master yet. And they become paralyzed. They don't take the action, but in their head, they know that they are capable of taking the action. They like, it's this dissonance between, oh gosh, like I know I can, but I'm so afraid that I'm going to fail that they don't do anything at all. And what happens is they become, depressed about it, unhappy, and they feel stuck. Like, what is so wrong with me? Why am I making such a big stink about this that I'm not taking the action? Another example that I see is the fear of rejection. So this is very, very common in the sense of nurturing your database, right? Making calls, following up with people that you've met in various environments, asking for the appointment, asking for the buyer broker agreement to be signed, just stretching yourself to ask for the business. Similarly, to the fear of failure, they kind of go hand in hand. The fear of rejection is going to prevent the person who's experiencing this, is going to prevent them from stepping out. So they're going to hold back and they're going to remain quiet. They're waiting for their phone to ring. They're waiting for the person to say, will you help me buy my house? Will you help me sell my house? When they maybe could have initiated that conversation instead of been reactive to it. And also, very similar to the fear of failure, the agent results in being unhappy, feeling stuck, like, why can't I create the success that I see here and here and here? And then the third one that I see, and I see this fairly commonly, it's a little bit different, more so in the sense of like you are already transacting business. Perhaps there's tough negotiations, bad news that needs to be delivered, that sort of thing. And the agent becomes afraid of being fired. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, hello, your compensation, your livelihood is attached to being hired and getting the deal done. What happens is, because the fear becomes so great, oh my gosh, I don't want to be fired, the agent will become a doormat, do a lot of accommodating and people pleasing, and get ultimately angry, resentful, and even burned out. It's not pretty. Maybe you've been there. So those are just a few examples of fear that I have worked with and agents that I, coach and work with on a regular basis. Maybe there's another aspect of fear that you experience that I didn't cover. Either way, I just want to assure you, like, fear is common. And the really good news is that when fear is coming up, what it is telling you, it is feedback to an old version of yourself, an old identity, old beliefs, that your new identity, your new beliefs about yourself, your higher self is saying, you don't get to live here anymore. Like, that's old me, this is new me, and I'm stepping up and showing up. There's like this, like, disagreement, this mind game that can happen. And you have the ability to muster up courage, right? Backed by faith, backed by your belief in yourself. And hey, you can borrow some of my belief too. That's cool. There it is. You can have it. I believe in you, right? So muster up that courage, muster up that faith and belief in yourself. And ultimately, you will be able to almost like smother out the fear because you are taking action that's aligned to your higher self. Now, will you succeed on the first time? I don't know. Will you be rejected? Maybe. Could you be fired? Possibly. The outcomes are not guaranteed. And so there's some value in becoming unattached. That's an entirely separate concept and video. But you will get feedback. You will take the action. You will get the feedback. You may need to make some adjustments, and you just continue. Take the action, make the adjustments. Take the action, make the adjustments. And sooner or later, you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, you know what? I was so afraid. And look at what I did. I took action. I grew my confidence. I made the adjustments, and I am where I imagined I wanted to be. What is it specifically for you? When you think about your business and the goals that you have, the action that you know that you need to take in order to meet those goals, what fear is getting in the way? Maybe it's that fear of failure. Maybe it's that fear of rejection. Maybe it is the fear of being fired. Maybe it's something else. Again, I just want to, validate and normalize for you. It's totally fine. And it's the action that you will take to, again, smother that out and make that fear dissipate. What is the action? What is the action that you could take? And I would recommend, even if it's really big fear that you're working with, could you take even just a micro step, right, in the direction of your goal so that you get closer and you can begin to smother out that fear? And like I said in the beginning, escape your own personal house of horror. I'd love to hear in the comments, what is the action step that you are going to take? And if I can help you with accountability on that, certainly give me a message, a DM, and I would be happy to check in with you about that. That's all I have for you. I really hope that you've enjoyed this spooky season series. It's been a lot of fun for me to create and be creative in some of these topics. If you'd like the video, I encourage you, give that thumbs up. That helps me reach more people. And go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss future videos. And I will see you next time.